Hi folks, I'm Elysabeth Alfano, host of the TV show, web series, and podcast, The Celebrity Dinner Party. I headed to the madness that is the Sundance Film Festival for last week and a part of this week for WGN Radio's WGN Plus. Over the next few days, I'll be recounting the movies and the red carpet interviews and the parties that I attended for the 4 days I was there, and what movies definitely to be on the lookout for. So hold on to your bootstraps. There are going to be quite a few podcasts coming your way. As always, to keep up to date with my celebrity interviews, you can subscribe to me on iTunes and YouTube at The Celebrity Dinner Party with Elysabeth Alfano. And check out my other YouTube channel at Fear No Art with Elysabeth Alfano. Of course, there's always Facebook under my name and Twitter and Instagram at DinnerPartyCHGO. And when in doubt, you can always hit up thedinnerparty.tv. Okay, let's get into it. So my first day at Sundance, I hit the festival running. And for anyone who's actually ever been to Sundance, you know that there are more movies and events and panels and hobnobbing than one person could actually physically do. But I did manage to stop by the red carpet for a movie that was getting all sorts of buzz around Park City, and that's The Kindergarten Teacher. The film is about a Staten Island kindergarten teacher who discovers what may be a gifted 5-year-old student in her class. She quickly becomes obsessed and fascinated with this kid and spirals downward on a dangerous and desperate path in order to nurture his talent. The movie's an adaptation of an Israeli film and was directed and written by Sarah Colangelo. It stars Maggie Gyllenhaal, who's also a producer on the film, child actor Parker Sivak, actresses Anna Baryshnikov and Rosa Salazar, actor Kartik Kojima, AJ Naidu, and Samrat Chakrabarti. I certainly hope I am pronouncing that right. I am certain he's going to correct me in just a minute in our interview. I was able to catch a few of the cast members on the red carpet, and what came through predominantly was just how pertinent this film is today, as it's written from the female viewpoint as opposed to the original film's more masculine perspective, and how acutely all the actors felt about the poetic nature of the script. Actor AJ Naidu took a moment to explain why he was drawn to the film and how he felt about playing the dad.
When Sarah's script came across your desk, what made you say, oh yeah, I want to be in this?
Well, I mean, it was so beautiful on the page as it was, and the poetry that's included in the story is mesmerizing and tremendous and very, very moving, so that in and of itself sold it to me. But the fact that they actually had real poet laureates and incredible poets contributing to the story is the only way that the story could have actually worked, and it does as a result of that.
And that came across from the script and also in her directing?
100% in both. Because the script, you can read it. It's on the page, and you take your own interpretations of whatever the poetry means to you. But when you actually play it and when you actually say it, it takes on a whole another meaning. So I think that that aspect of it was very clear to me in having accepted the part.
And it seems like a very deep role for you, so I'm wondering what you learned about yourself in this film.
Well, I'm just now a dad, and my son's going to turn 2 tomorrow, so I learned that I'm starting to play dads a lot. But beyond that, I love Parker. He's an incredible young actor, and it was very easy for me to fall in love with him because I have a little boy right now. So to be able to actually identify with being a parent finally in something. As opposed to just playing at it, it changes the tone of how you portray something like that, and for me, it's just an overwhelming sense of enormous amount of love that you get pierced with when you're a parent. I mean, you love it better, you love your kid better than anything else in the world. So to have that kind of care come through, I think you really have to have a kid to do that.
So great timing for you to take on this role.
Perfect timing for me to take on the role.
Wonderful. Good luck with the film and with being a new dad.
Samrat, and I'm just not even going to pronounce his last name, I'm going to let him tell us. Sungrat relayed how he got the part and how personally important it is to him.
Please pronounce your name for me so I do not butcher it.
Not a problem. My name is Samrat Chakrabarti.
Chakrabarti. Did I get that right?
Chakrabarti.
Everybody, Chakrabarti.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all going to say that tonight in our sleep.
I think we should.
So this is your first time at Sundance, you said?
This is my first time in Sundance, and what a way to start with this beautiful film, The Kindergarten Teacher.
So when this film came to you, were you just a bundle of nerves that you might get the part, or were you really vying for it?
I thought for it. I was really excited for it when I read the script, and then I actually wrote a letter, and this is sometimes you have to kind of take that extra mile, because a friend of mine knew Sarah, and I just wrote a letter to Sarah to say how important and passionate I'm about this film, and how important this is, I think, for generations, because it's an Indian. Because I'm a son of an immigrant, and as a kid, and even through high school, I was always told, you got to become a doctor, you got to become a lawyer, you got to become a ... And in this film, I play his uncle, who kind of planted the seed of poetry, and for him, and the fact that this movie is about empowering that meant it hit a personal chord. So I fought for it, and I was absolutely ecstatic when I got it.
I think it's Adam Smith who said that we are doctors and lawyers so that our children may become poets and musicians. So it seems that there are several themes in this movie.
I think I think we need everyone to be part of society, right? Everyone to play a role. I also think, as a brown man in this industry, I want to. It's an opportunity and job to show positivity on screen, and especially in today's climate of America.
So do you feel that on screen there isn't a good image currently portrayed for the brown man?
Well, I think there needs to be more. I think the idea and the fabric of what America is has to continuously expand and show that, hey, we are a country of diversity and unity and empowerment.
Which has always been our strength.
Absolutely.
So let's keep it that way. Good luck with the film. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was also eager to discuss with director Sarah Colangelo about why she took on this adaptation and why she wanted to remake the film. A film that, by the way, is written, directed, financed, and produced by women.
Sarah, what made you want to take on this topic in The Kindergarten Teacher?
Well, this is an adaptation of a beautiful and acclaimed Israeli film, and it was pitched to me to do an American adaptation a number of years ago. And I really loved the project and took it on because I felt like I could really reframe it from a woman's point of view and really discuss art in the United States, the value of it in the United States, especially in this administration. And that's really why I took it on. It was, the Israeli film is really different. It's about masculinity in Israel and about, art in a militaristic society. And I felt that I could really do something wildly different. And so that's why I took it on.
And did you have Maggie in mind for the role when you were writing?
Yes, we did. Of course we had a long list, and Maggie was at the top of it. And we let her read it really early on, and we're just wildly happy when she had this wonderful reaction to it. And she was like, I absolutely have to make this my next film. So yeah,
it's great that there's that early sense of collaboration.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what it was like to direct kids.
Difficult. There, everyone was, kindergarten age, but there is this openness to that age group that is so beautiful too. And really, we tried to make the presence of the camera almost invisible to the kids. We let Maggie just teach classes, and it was beautiful to watch. And the kids just, called her Mrs. Spinelli. They didn't call her Maggie. They didn't even realize, in many cases, that she was an actress. And so we really had a documentary style approach to it all, and it was actually a lot of fun.
Is there anything that you learned about yourself in the making of this film?
There's a long list of things you learn. I guess I try to I try to resist a little less now. I think as a beginner filmmaker, I would try to push for my view on things, and if I wasn't getting something, I would get kind of uncomfortable. And now I kind of let things go, and I let myself be surprised by what the actors are giving me in any moment. And I find that actually there are beautiful things that happen that are unexpected, and I think that's a great thing to learn.
It gives you a chance to stay with the joy of the film.
Yeah.
Thanks for speaking with me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, as you might know, as it goes with these red carpets, people just keep coming down the line, and it's great because you get to talk to everyone in one full swoop. So actress Rosa Salazar came on by and talked to me about what it was like to come back to her independent film roots.
Well, first of all, as an artist, I reminded myself that what I need to do as an artist comes first. I liked doing the action pieces that I've done, but I really needed to get back to my roots. I studied acting in New York. I love independent film. I started out doing independent film, and it was sort of a return to form for me. And that's really what I learned about myself, is how much I need that, how much I need independent film in my life.
And being around others who share the same dream and share the same mission, what did they bring out in you on set?
Oh my God, just by being directed by a woman, you feel free. You feel more free, you feel more creative, because you have a voice, and that's what this whole film is about. The industry has been one way for so long. I need more films like this to happen. So
Wonderful.
I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen.
Finally, Maggie Gyllenhaal made it down the press line with something to say.
The script was exquisite. I mean, Sarah Colangelo is a brilliant writer, and she. I read the script, I put it down, and I said I want to do this movie, which is really unusual for me. I find that so rarely, and the times I've had that are some of the movies I'm most proud of, like Secretary, I had it, Sherry Baby, I had it, Honorable Woman. I was like, this is for me. This is kind of the next step in my career, and I was so pleased that they wanted me to do it, and I just felt like an immediate sort of magnetic connection to it. And I think it's because as women, there are so few things I see on film and television that are actual representations of our experience. I think we're really good at sort of twisting ourselves and fitting ourselves into things that are like sort of representations of our experience. And when you find something where you're like, that speaks to me as a woman, that feels like my experience for real, it's like, to me, I can't get enough of it. But it's rare, And I think that's why so many women ended up being involved in this project. Women paid for it, women produced it.
Produced it, directed,
writer. We had a male DP, but he's a lover of women. It compelled us, And the women I know who have seen it, it's interesting. I mean, I'm curious to see what will happen now, because this is the first time people are really seeing it. But I've had a couple men come up to me and go like, damn, that movie was intense. And then I've had women go like, I loved
get it.
And I don't know, I hope it's not polarizing. There are so many men who love women, see women, are compelled by women. I'm interested in seeing movies about men,
And it wasn't just the female nature of this film that was on her mind. Of course, the women's movement and March were on everyone's mind, given that the March was happening on the very same opening weekend as Sundance. And Maggie had things to say about that too. Were it not for the swiftness of the red carpet and the deadlines of Sundance, I feel like this was a conversation that could have gone on for a long, long time.
Well, I'm definitely gonna go. And I mean, for me, it's interesting. I've been asked a lot about my politics in relationship to everything that's going on right now, misogyny in the country, misogyny in this industry. And I have been thinking about it. I mean, like we all have been thinking about it so much. I mean, really, since Trump was elected.
And before.
Well, yes, and before. But I think Trump's election was a kind of wake-up call. And at least for me, I thought we're not in the place that we wish we were, that we thought we were. And the more I think about it, and I feel like a 5-minute interview on a red carpet is not the place to have the very complicated conversation that I'm having with my friends, that I'm having with my colleagues. I think, I've never been somebody who's been afraid to talk about my politics, but the level of complication of where it's at for me right now just requires a different pace and a different length of conversation. I will say, my politics and my emotional politics, my visceral politics about where I feel women are in the world right now are in this movie.
So, The Kindergarten Teacher, folks, it's one to watch, and I anticipate lots more buzz for this film when it hits theaters. Until my next Sundance review, which is going to be coming down the pipeline shortly, as always, remember to be vegan. The editor of this podcast is David Craig. Thanks for listening.